Alright, so we gotta get into this David update because these new details are honestly disturbing as fuck. This update feels like a cold weight settling over everything. The kind of darkness that doesn't shock anymore, just breaks you in a quieter, heavier way. What's coming out about Celeste Rivas Hernandez, it isn't just tragic, it's disturbing on a level that leaves you hollow. Multiple outlets are now reporting that when Celeste was found, her remains were dismembered and partially frozen.
Breaking news, Celeste was frozen according to the medical examiner, in addition to being completely dismembered.
Bombshell reporting that Celeste Rivas Hernandez's body had likely been frozen. She's the young runaway whose boyfriend, singer David, is much older, and in whose Tesla trunk her remains were discovered.
Breaking news, Celeste's body was found frozen and completely dismembered. There are some crazy updates in this case. TMZ just released an article saying the medical examiner received the body in horrendous condition. It was decapitated, and while the torso was intact, the limbs were removed and cut into multiple pieces.
Developments in the Celeste Rivas death. TMZ has learned that her body had been frozen, and when it was found, it was still partially frozen in the back of David's car, and it was in such bad condition that we are told the medical examiner may never be able to establish the cause of death.
David allegedly froze her body. Celeste's body was frozen, then dismembered and put in the trunk. And yes, we've confirmed that it was dismembered.
Whether every detail is confirmed or not, the picture being painted is bleak, unnatural, and deeply unsettling. It's the kind of information that makes you wish the world was kinder than the reality facing this 14-year-old girl. What we know so far feels like something pulled out of a nightmare. LA authorities discovered Celeste's body on September 8th, stuffed into the front of a Tesla, registered to the singer David. So now they're saying that what they reportedly found were remains in pieces, a torso intact but the rest disassembled. Some outlets say the body arrived at the medical examiner decapitated, limbs removed, partially frozen. The most chilling part is that the frozen state may leave her cause of death forever uncertain, a silence in the record books instead of answers. The LAPD and the medical examiners still haven't released the autopsy report, so the case is locked behind a security hold. However, robbery homicide detectives are treating this as a suspected murder, but yet so much information still remains untouchable to the public. The cause of death is still pending. We may never know, because how the body was found, we may never get those answers. So behind the scenes, unnamed investigators are whispering a narrative that's hard to ignore, that David is considered a suspect and that they believe he didn't act alone, that more than one person was involved in what was done to Celeste. And even that comes with warning labels, because the most gruesome details aren't coming from the police podiums, but from the sources behind the curtains. So they might be true, they might not be, but they feel too specific, too consistent, and honestly too horrific to dismiss entirely. And the medical examiner has already returned Celeste's body to her family for burial. Her story is being laid to rest before the truth of her death is even known. Lab tests and toxicology are still underway, but it's the damage that was done to her remains, the decomposition, the freezing, all that could lead to some things unknowable forever. And now they're reporting that David has never cooperated with detectives. They are reporting that investigators have been unable to speak to him at all. His team has gone silent, his attorney has stopped commenting. It is a homicide investigation for sure. David is a suspect. However, he's still not charged. And in the center of all this secrecy, all this horror, all these contradictions and withheld answers is a 14-year-old girl whose last months were spent missing, vulnerable, and unheard until her body was found in pieces. There's literally no drama left in this story, man. Just a sense of something deeply wrong and fucked up. A child's life ended brutally, and now that truth is being buried under ice and silence. It's frustrating, and the whole situation is just getting messier, because let's be real, why the hell did it take that long? Like, come on, man. The internet solved this case so damn fast, it was crazy. Everybody was playing Inspector Gadget except for the cops, and the timeline they're putting together now is even darker. So the police believe that Celeste passed away around spring, as in months before anybody found her in the frunk of the abandoned Tesla. And yeah, I said frunk, I mean, because it was in the front, it wasn't in the trunk. I gotta say the word front. And all this does for me is raise a whole new set of questions, because it's like, damn, where was everybody at? How can nobody know that she was gone? Why did everyone just assume she ran away and moved on? She was 14, a child. If a kid that young disappears, it shouldn't be, oh, she ran off again. If they knew she was at some dude's house named David, they should have went and told the police that so they could get a welfare check in motion. Because if police now believe she's been gone for that long, it means she was missing for months while everybody around her seemed to just dial her out. Like there was no urgency. I just don't understand why her parents didn't have the police banging on his door a long time ago. If they knew that she was with somebody named David, why is there no report filed for them to find their daughter with some guy named David? Shouldn't there have been an Amber Alert or some shit? Like they treated her like she was invisible. And I don't know about y'all, but for me that makes this even more heartbreaking. Then you add the new details. Authorities now say she wasn't just decomposed, she was actually dismembered. Now remember, when the reports first started rolling out, they stated that she was dismembered, but they couldn't tell if it was because she was severely decomposed. They felt like maybe she was just so decomposed that she wasn't intact anymore. However, this time around, it is being reported that it's not from time passing, it's not from nature. Someone actually did that intentionally. And they are reporting that investigators think David may had help. That completely changes the tone of this case, because clearly this wasn't a panic, this wasn't an accident, this was hands-on, deliberate, calculated. A lot of people were suspecting that she might have OD'd and they try to cover it up. And that wouldn't have made it okay, of course. It's just theories of what might have happened. But it's not looking like that. It's looking like how everybody else felt. People on Reddit have been going wild with theories from day one. Some really feel that he had a weird obsession with dark themes because of the things that he would say in his songs. And others think it was some twisted sacrifice conspiracy. However, nobody really knows the real motive yet, but whatever it wasn't random. And honestly, I don't even need to know why. Who gives a fuck? Put his ass under the cell. That was a little girl, and that's sad. She didn't deserve that. He should have just took her home. There was no reason for him to even have her at all. It's disgusting. So yeah, the LAPD is officially calling David a suspect. It means that they finally have something concrete, something they obviously think can actually stand up in court. Because let's keep it lit, if they calling him a suspect now, the evidence is strong enough to matter in court. And what hurts the most, it really didn't have to go on this long. I'm assuming her family sat in agony for months. I only say I assume because I just don't feel like nobody really tried to find her. They just waited for her to pop up. However, I can't speak on the behalf of her family. I don't know how they truly feel about the situation. I'm pretty sure they're like shaken from it. And the internet pieced together clues while the system seemed to drag its feet.
There is a grand jury that has convened in the case involving the death of Celeste Rivas. And this is a really interesting twist. And underlying it all is what I believe is a war between the LAPD and the LA County Medical Examiner. So here's what happened. The LA Times got hold of a petition that the LAPD filed asking to block the medical examiner from releasing any information about the death of Celeste Rivas. This is highly unusual. And as a matter of fact, the LAPD tried this back in September, and the judge in that case said, there's no basis for doing that the LAPD didn't make a case. Well, they went back again, apparently a few days ago, and they asked again, seal all the information that the medical examiner has, and that judge did it. And the medical examiner was pissed.
Man, at this point, every outlet is basically saying the same shit. He's a suspect, and he has not been cooperating. But yet somehow, even with all of that, nobody's been arrested. Nobody's been charged, and the official cause of death is still pending.
They are not close to making an arrest. We are told it is, quote, nowhere imminent that an arrest will be made. That doesn't mean there won't be one, but there is a chance there won't be one, in the sense that we don't even know if this was a homicide. And we pushed today to find out and could not get an answer.
It's like watching justice crawl through molasses while everyone else already sees the red flags waving in the wind. Investigators are reportedly digging into that random spring trip they took to some remote patch of Santa Barbara County, and they've been going through all of Celeste's digital history, trying to put the pieces back together. But it's all still stuck in investigation mode. Like everything is paused while a child's entire story, her entire life, gets treated like optional homework or some shit. And honestly, now as I'm editing this, LAPD is suddenly saying the body was never frozen after all.
The captain of the Robbery Homicide Division of the LAPD is telling People magazine those reports aren't true. Captain Scott Williams tells People that Celeste was not frozen and that, quote, Celeste was not decapitated. The whole frozen thing doesn't even make sense. Her body was in the car for weeks, he said. And he added, even if she had been frozen solid when she was put in the car, which there is no evidence to suggest she was, 5 or more weeks in the trunk of a car in sweltering heat in the middle of summer would not have resulted in a partially frozen body being discovered on September the 8th, end quote. I do want to ask you if there might be some partial truth to this, that possibly those body parts had been frozen long ago and then had decomposed in the back of the trunk. If that part might be true, would freezing do something to that body?
Absolutely, freezing would. And it is possible that the body was frozen and then, of course, after 5 weeks would not be frozen when found. But freezing actually damages the cells. It also actually speeds up decomposition once it starts to thaw.
So the captain at LAPD has said our story about Celeste Rivas's body being partially frozen was incorrect, that the body had not been frozen. So we went back to a very well-connected source connected to the medical examiner, the LA County Medical Examiner, and they doubled, tripled, quadrupled, and sextupled down that the body was found in a partially frozen state.
So it just seems that it's just twist after twist, contradiction after contradiction. Every time you think you understand what could have happened, someone yanks the floor out again. It's exhausting, it's sick, and it makes the whole situation feel even more disrespectful to Celeste. Her truth is getting tossed around while everyone debates technicalities instead of giving this girl the justice she deserves. Celeste was a child. She deserved protection. She deserved urgency. She for real deserved grown-ups who took her disappearance seriously. I just don't understand why they didn't call the police when they found out she was messing with him from jump. I mean, he older than her. She was a little ass girl. They're saying that he met her when she was 11 years old and shit. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. The system failed her. And we're gonna keep talking about it as more comes out, because now it's not just about David, it's about what failed her. Every system around her, every adult around her, every sign that got ignored. Celeste deserved better, and now the world owes her the truth. And it doesn't matter if she was the one that was running away. She's a child. She didn't know any better. She needed somebody to guide her. But yeah, this shit's sad as hell, man. I thought we would just do a quick update. I already did one of those deep ass psychological think pieces on the situation, but I thought, right, we would just talk about it real quick, the updated version of what's going on right now. Shit's just sad, man. I really truly hate hearing about innocent lives being taken for no reason. It just messes with me. There was no reason to do that little girl like that. It's fucked up. Just having to think about the shit is so fucked up. But yeah, please be safe out there, for real. The world is weird right now. We all see it. And stories like Celeste hit way harder because they show how fast things can go wrong when the people around you aren't paying attention. So if you're young, please don't put your trust into older people. Do not do it. Just because they're older than you doesn't mean that they're your protector, and it doesn't mean they're meant to lead you. They're just older than you. That's it. Don't put your trust into them. I'm talking strangers, influencers, especially anybody that tries to isolate you from your support system. I'm telling you right now, if anybody tries to isolate you and say you don't need to go to your mom's house, or you don't need to talk to your dad, or you don't need to talk to your siblings, you need to run away. That's a red flag. If something feels off even a little bit, you need to leave. Tell somebody. Your safety matters, man. It matters more than someone's feelings. It matters more than someone's promises or someone's attention. They'll get over it. If they're not letting you see your family because they want to spend more time with you, man, that's a red flag. You need to dip. They'll get over it. You really need to be staying away from anybody older than you though, especially if you're a minor. There's no reason for you to kick it with adults. There's no reason. Unless it's someone safe, like a loved one, like someone your family trusts and you trust and you know it ain't even like that, then that's different. But I'm saying, and sometimes you gotta watch family members too. But what I'm saying is there's no reason for you to hang with any adults. And for the parents, y'all gotta stay locked in. Your kids might act like they don't need you, but they do. Check in with them. Ask questions. Know who they talk to online. Know who they're hanging around. Be nosy. That's your business. They don't have business yet. They not grown enough to have business yet. That's your business. Don't brush off red flags. Don't assume that they're just being dramatic. And do not take silence as peace. Your presence could be the thing that keeps them safe. And your attention could be the thing that saves their life. It shouldn't take tragedies like this for us to tighten up. It really shouldn't. But maybe this is the reminder that everybody needs. Stay safe out there. Look out for each other. Look out for your kids. Look out for your family. And remember, staying aware isn't fear. It's protection.